Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's All Funny. Episode, what is this? 535. 535. Fuck your story. No, fuck your story. Um, no, I'm just here chilling. What I eat today? Anything? I ate breakfast. Oh yeah, I saw that leftover bologna from the other day. I ate that with like a mozzarella cheese. Not a mozzarella stick, but like those cheese sticks that if you fry up they become mozzarella sticks. Like I ate one of those with it, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've just been really fucking loving peanut butter and jelly sandwiches lately, especially the honey. So fucking good. Oh, fucking love honey. Um, Otherwise, just here chilling. Trying to get through another week of work. I know school started and I was looking at that shit and I was like, fuck, there's already like a project for school. So I gotta deal with that and more people. I'll deal with it tomorrow, whatever. I'm pretty sure if you look up history of the fall of the Alamos, getting pretty close. If you're into that shit, uh, I don't know. It's interesting, I guess, if you like history. But let's look at some stuff about speaking of history and the world and all this other shit. Oh, I took a shower today too. That was nice. That felt good. That did feel good. Hey, look here. What a what a crazy thing I didn't know was gonna happen. Taylor Swift encourages fans to make a plan to vote in US presidential primary election. So she's saying everyone should go out to vote. Uh I wonder who she wants people to vote for. I wanted to. Here's a note that she put on her Instagram. Today, March 5th, is the presidential primary in Tennessee and 16 other states and territories. I wanted to remind you guys to vote the people who most represent you into power. If you haven't already, make a plan to vote today. Whether you're in Tennessee or somewhere else in the U.S., check your polling places and times at vote.org. Oh, Lord. I don't know. This is why the government was all cracking down on that and trying to keep her the poster child and the baby face because they want her to rowdy, sway the vote for the younger generation to the Democrats. And then that whole shit about Biden bringing in immigrants. Um, Bringing in immigrants and not letting them have to ID to vote and all that. It's pretty rowdy because like it's true, like you can fact check that shit and they're like openly admitting it. They're just like, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, and it's very convenient that they're doing it right when voting season is around and they're really like wanting to stay in power when they know they have like they could lose, and I'm not even just to Trump, but like to anyone, and that's why they smear the shit out of Trump because they just don't want. It's not that they don't care if Trump wins; they just don't want to lose. I mean, look at how they're keeping RFK away from that shit. They're keeping away fucking that other chick. What's her name? Nikki Haley or whatever. She's kind of doing okay, but I don't know. They're just trying to not lose at this point, especially with Biden. But dude, I don't think he can make it another 4 years. Like, dude, 4 years is a long time for real. I mean, it goes by fast. But think about when Obama was in office, how he aged like rowdy when he was there for 8 years. And I liked Obama. I voted for him. As racist as I sound usually, I voted for him, but it was more because my cousin like convinced me to vote, and I was really into her because she was hot. I mean, not that she still isn't hot. I'm still in love with her, but that was then. This is now. I think that's a Taylor Swift song or an album. Here on the news, speaking of the election, no, Michelle Obama isn't going to swoop in and replace Joe Biden. I like how they picked the two worst pictures here to display them. They're like rowdy side profile, nasty pictures. I wonder who wrote this. They're saying she's backing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's reelection campaign. Uh, she isn't doesn't plan to launch a White House bid. She will not be running for president. I mean, that's I don't care. I think she's better fit than Biden and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is just retarded, dude, and Biden's like just losing his mind. Like at least he used to be coherent in like his evilness, like all politicians are. At least Trump is coherent in like his evil deeds, you know. But uh Biden isn't like knowing anymore what evil deeds he's done and he can't keep it in check, you know. So he's just like literally losing his mind to old age and I don't know what else, whatever drugs they keep short of him. And Obama, Michelle Obama, whether she you believe it or not, if she's a man or whatever, she's a pretty good looking man. I'll have to say, if she, I've said this before, if she is a man, she is a good looking man. She's got a nice fat ass, and I love me a nice ass. I don't know if it depends on if it's a man or a woman. I do like me a nice big old butt. Oh yeah, you know what they do with their butts? They poop with them. Um, but yeah, I don't see Michelle Obama. Well, she's already saying right. Besides, she doesn't want to get into that shit and then get dragged in the mud and all that crap with all that other crap. Speaking of what else is here? Biden, the election. What was this article? Oh, Cookie Monster decries shrinkflation, and White House responds. And this is kind of like this is cringy, you know. Like I wasn't a really a kid who grew up with Sesame Street, so I like a couple of things Sesame Street. I like Grover. But, oh, wait, I can't do a Grover. Grover, hey, it's me. It sounds like Dookie or whatever. I can't really do a Grover anymore. I just ate some more peanut butter, and my mouth's pretty dry. Um, hey, it's me, Grover. I can't fucking do it. And then Cookie Monster. So he's saying here on Twitter because he's on Twitter, obviously. Me hate shrinkflation. Me cookies are getting smaller. He sounds a little like a pirate, but me hate shrinkflation. Me cookies are getting smaller. The googly-eyed for furry blue Muppet declared on X on Monday, tapping into an economic trend of the day. Guess me going to eat double dot cookies. Uh, the complaint prompted multiple U.S. senators and even the White House to weigh in on a move multiple years in the making that has seen companies scaling back on the size of products while keeping the price the same. C is for consumers getting ripped off, the White House tweeted. President Biden is calling on companies to put a stop to shrinkflation. And I mean, we've talked about shrinkflation before in a little bit of detail. It's been happening for a while. Like, yeah, Biden's like, oh, I don't. You didn't think we wouldn't notice? Dude. We fucking notice, you know. And like, companies can keep their shit the same size, but they're gonna charge us more. Like, do we really want that? And not only on top of that, America is fucking fat. We're all so fat. We don't need a 20-ounce soda. We need to cut down some way. So I don't mind paying the same price for a 12-ounce soda, a 16-ounce soda, because I need to drink less soda. Like well, I don't drink soda personally, but as a fat person, you need to drink less soda or eat less cookies, you know, like so I feel like inadvertently businesses have been doing us a favor with that because that could help us learn about moderation. Especially look at the Cookie Monster, how he eats like uh, a sinful fucking piece of shit. You know, like he's gluttonous. You know, we we as a society need to cut down on that. It's we I don't know. Like, yeah, it's bad for companies to do that because it's somewhat misleading. But then also we need to portion better and cut down on shit. So, you know, maybe it's what's keeping us alive a little longer is that, you know, that we can't afford um 16 ounces of cookies instead of 12 ounces is keeping us right at that line where diabetes is. But maybe this is a move that is what the politicians want. Maybe they want us, the companies, to cave in, make us either pay more or pay the same for the amount of food, so we get fatter, and then we need you know a medicine more. We get a high blood pressure medication. We get insulin, and then we end up having to pay more to the medical companies instead of the snack companies, which I'm sure they're all under the same umbrella, owned by the same Congress people with stock and all that in charge. There's reasons for all their things, and then this is like a look over here, Biden type of move, or even just a politician. Look over here at this problem that I can maybe solve, while you don't look at this problem of like immigration and people starving on the streets, and wars that we can't control, and other stuff that people like actually, school shootings and gun laws. Like, why aren't we doing letters for that? Like, C is for children, keep them alive. Like, keep our children alive in their schools. Like, get your gun laws straight. But no, they're not gonna do that because it's just gonna fuck everything up. Their whole lobbying and shit. But moving on from monsters and politicians, they're the same thing, I guess. We're going to college basketball, female college basketball, actually. Caitlin Clark record draws top in season TV rating since '99, and she's a pretty girl. Well, I mean, she's light skinned. I'm surprised people aren't talking shit about her, but apparently, Caitlin Clark set a record in her game for Iowa against Iowa. Take two. And Caitlin Clark's record-setting game for Iowa against Ohio State on Sunday attracted more than 4 million television viewers at its peak, and was the most watched women's regular season basketball game since '99. 4 million viewers. What is that? That's like a rerun of Young Sheldon. It's nothing. That's Young Sheldon on a Tuesday. Clark scored 35 points and passed Pete Maravich as the NCAA Division One overall career scoring leader. She set a record with 35 points. Like, dude, that's like what um fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo, or what's his name? Nico Djokovic or whatever. Like, that's what they average, or Luka Doncic or whatever. Like, they average 35 points a game. Like, that's nothing. That's a regular game to them. And this was like record setting for not only female college player, but all college players, right? Which is pretty crazy. But then also, I mean, it's college. I remember I bet on a college game the other day. I bet on a couple, maybe one or two, for the parlays, and I was watching the scores, and yeah, dude, they take forever to score, and then they have the timeouts that are like commercial based, so they'll stop at a pre-recorded timeout or whatever, and it's very odd, college basketball, the way yeah, it's just weird the way it's separate to regular NBA, where it's slower paced and not as scoring, because they're kids. They're still learning to play, even though it's college basketball, they're still just learning to play. Uh but speaking of female athletes, and we'll end with this. Simona Halep's doping ban reduced from 4 years to 9 months. That's pretty rowdy. You go from 4 years to 9 months. And here's a picture where she's pretty hot. I could see why you would shorten that so much. I mean, look, shorten that skirt too, honey, and then you will shorten your sentence. The Court of Arbitration for Sport on Tuesday reduced tennis player Simona Halep's doping ban from 4 years to 9 months, meaning the former world number one can resume a career that was halted in 2022 after she failed a doping test at the U.S. Open. She tested positive for the banned substance roxadustat, an anti-anemia drug that also stimulates the body to produce more of the natural hormone erythropoietin or EPO, which helps increase endurance. So yeah, I get it. That's the same with like fucking Sudafed. Like apparently you're not supposed to take that because it helps you breathe more and then it pumps you up, or even like Adderall and shit. Um, like those are considered bad now in sports. They help give you the edge or whatever. But that's crazy that she was banned for fucking 4 years, and they're like, okay, we'll change it to 9 months. And I bet you, it's because she sells tickets. I mean, look, she's a pretty white, sexy white woman, right? And they're pretty in right now with that whole Sydney Sweeney with her tits out on fucking SNL. Like white women are kind of cool again. Lauren Boebert looking all hot like the teacher from next door. So I get it. White women are kind of easing their way back into culture as like, okay, like they're. So yeah, I could see why they'd want her back on the team or back to playing so people will come watch. That's why they only um. It's the same with like LeBron or star players. They only when they break the rules, they only get like one suspension or something. Because it's like fuck, they sell tickets. Like I can't be doing that. But she's pretty. I agree with this decision to lower her sentence so she can come back and play. And I like tennis. I really do. I don't know if I would watch it or God, dude, she's got legs like thick fucking legs, like the kind of legs that you could squish a watermelon with. Um, I don't know if I could bet on tennis because I don't know who's good and who's not. All I remember is like Serena and Venus Williams being like fucking like huge and athletic and like unstoppable. So I don't know. Like you have these like kind of more petite, Daisy Peach looking Marvin Mario tennis white women playing, and I'm sure they're just as good. It's just I don't know. You had those two women, the two twins, dominating for so long, and of course you have the young blood. Who was that one girl? She was like half Asian, half Hawaiian, or half something that came in and was like dominating too. For I think she is. So it's nice to see like different cultures get the spotlight for a little while in a sport that they usually don't. But what do I know? I'm a fat piece of shit. I hate myself, and um, I'm not a good person. So yeah, I could say all those things. I could say everything I said before, and then say what I'm gonna say because of all those things. Pretense, all that stuff. So yeah, that's all. That's all funny, guys. Thank y'all for listening to the podcast. That's so funny. It's available on your podcast. Available. Just search That's So Funny. I got another podcast I do. That's all kayfabe with my buddy Gabe. We talk about wrestling every Mondays. It's on the channel or on its own thing. Just check out That's All Kayfabe anywhere podcast available. YouTube channel has the podcast video format. It's fun. I do another show with the great Mint Salad. She does movie reviews. We'll watch a movie, talk about it. We don't watch the movie, but we talk about it, play a game. That's on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock Central, live, called Tits and Areolas. It's fun. If you want to see older episodes of that, check out either of our Patreons. If you want to support this podcast, patreon.com/Lorenzo Areola. $5 a month gets you everything. Helps support the cause. If you want to help, the Rangoons feed me, help that. And if you want to buy merch, check out www.retrohorrorinc.com. Or commission some great art from a great artist at Retro Horror Inc. on Instagram. But yeah, I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.